What happens when you bring a wish-fulfilling cow, a 1,000-year-old feud or a drama, and one king's ego together? You get the most challenging poses in yoga, Vasishtasana and Vishwamitrasana. Hi everyone, my name is Rohini and I come to you straight from the heartland of yoga, India, to share the stories behind each of these yoga poses so that the practice becomes more than just body, becomes an entry into your soul. Today, we're going to discuss the story of Vishwamitra and Vasishta, two of the greatest sages that lived in India. So the story goes, long ago, in the forests of India, there lived a great king called Kaushika. In that same forest, there lived another rishi called Vasishta. Both of them lived in faraway corners, and those days forests were very big. They hardly ever met each other. Kaushika would go on his hunting expeditions and he would see many different rishis who had ashramas across the land. On one particular day, as he went on his hunting expedition, sharpening his archery skills, their war skills, they had to after all protect an entire kingdom. On the other side, as they traveled far away, they met who? Vasishta. Now Vasishta had a beautiful ashrama. It was really simple, nothing like a palace, just simple. And after the long travel, Kaushika's men, the cavalry, the army people, all of them reached Vasishta's ashram. Now in Vasishta's ashram, they were tired, they were hungry. So they entered the ashram and said, Vasishta, we are really hungry. If it's possible, could you please offer a meal? And as any kind, sweet teacher he said yes. He told the men to go have a bath, wash off their sweat, the grime, the dirt and come back. So the boys do exactly that. They go all the way to the river nearby, wash all the sweat, the grime, the dust, and in that there's banter, there's conversation. The soldiers are talking to themselves and they're like, oh my God, after such a hard day, I want to eat something yummy. I'm going to be in an ashram. He's going to give me fruits and leaves. What is this king thinking? We should be carrying a cook with us. We're soldiers. We need to eat lots of food. So there's this banter and Kaushika hears, but it is what it is. You are here. So what to do? So they grudgingly, slowly make their way back to the ashram. And when they go to the ashram and they open the doors, they're surprised. There's this huge table lined up with the choicest of foods that even the palace doesn't offer. There's chairs, it's all decadent and amazing. And the soldiers are shocked but also very happy because they're super hungry. No questions asked, they sit down, they eat the feast, bellies full, burping mouths, and they're just almost ready to pass out, that much food they've eaten. And everybody is so thrilled, right? Because they're so hungry and the food is so satisfying. So they go tell the king, King, this Vasishta is the best cook. You find out who is the cook and how they made it so quickly. If we can take that cook back, we will be very happy in the palace. Kaushika is having a laugh with the boys, but he realizes this is a very valid question. No, how did this rishi make so much so quickly and that too so tasty? So after everything, the boys start to settle, they're resting in different corners in the ashram. Kaushika goes all the way to Vasishta and asks, Vasishta, how did you get such food made? How is it even possible? So Vasishta says, I have a small secret. So Kaushika says, show me. So Vasishta says, come. They go all the way behind the ashrama quarters and there's this cute, sweet, precious white little cow. So beautiful and so pure with these beautiful doe eyes. Kaushika says, nice cow, I came to meet the cook. Why are you showing me the cow? So Vasishta says, oh Kaushika, you don't realize. This is a wish-fulfilling cow. Her name is Nandini, some people call her Sabala. She was a gift from the Devatas to me and she stays in this ashram. There was no cook. I went to Nandini and I asked her, I need to create food for these people, you please provide me something. And she created the feast that you ate. Kaushika's eyes are wide and he's in shock. A wish-fulfilling cow? This would be jackpot for the kingdom. Imagine everything would be handled easily, right? He didn't have to do anything. So he's thinking what to do. So he goes and says, Vishwamitra, you're in an ashram. You have nothing to do in life with a cow that is granting all your wishes. Give it to me. So Vasishta says, okay, see if the cow agrees, you can take her. But if she says no, She stays with me. So Kaushika says, okay. Vasishta goes to the cow and says, would you like to go with this king towards the kingdom? Cow gently backs away and goes and hides behind Vasishta. Now Kaushika is very angry. He's angry that this cow has said no to him. I mean, after all, he's the great king of the land. How can a cow say no? Anyway, he doesn't show it because such good hospitality. He says, okay, I'm going to rest. We'll see later. And Vasishta says, I'm going to go and do some meditation. Please keep it quiet. So the king and his boys are resting. Vasishta is meditating. The cow is there at the back. And Kaushika has an idea. He calls the soldiers and he says, let's kidnap the cow. There's no use. Why should he be here? For a king to do something adharmic, not okay. It's when you falter in your understanding of what is the right thing to do. But greed does that, na? So he tells the boys and they go. They're all showing leaves and grass and fruits and trying to get the cow to come to them. But Nandini is not interested in any of that. 20 minutes go, cow is not budging, not even showing them any bhav or any face. So they're getting damn angry. Huh? These boys have no patience. So they take a rope, they wrap it around the cow's neck. One wraps one around the tail and some around the limbs, and they start to pull the cow. Pull it and yanking it away with them because the cow's not coming. And in that commotion, the cow starts to scream in pain, in agony, in fear. And she's screaming for her master, what to do. And out of all this commotion, suddenly Vasishta comes out of his meditation wondering what is going on in the ashram. As he comes, he sees this scene that there's soldiers pulling the cow is screaming, Kaushika standing there angrily with a spear in his hand trying to nudge the cow, and he's in shock. So he says, what are you doing? Kaushika apologizes and says, see, I already told you there is no use for a cow, we should take her. So Vasishta says, ask permission either to the cow, or if the cow agrees then you ask me. I'm okay, whatever the cow wants, let her do, but she needs to agree, not me. She's a divine cow. And even otherwise, every being has a choice to what they want to do in life. So Vasishta turns to the cow, holds Nandini's face gently and says, do you want to go? The space will be better, the food will be better, maybe you will be better taken care of. Nandini shakes. Instead, she goes and hides straight behind Vasishta because she doesn't want to go. A cow like that can sense your personality and the insides of you, and she knew Kaushika was rotten from the inside. So she says no. Kaushika's angry. Second time rejected by what? A cow. Disappointed, he goes back to his kingdom, takes his retinue with him, and he decides he doesn't want to take care of the kingdom. He's going to go and meditate and become a rishi himself, and he will get a second cow. This is his plan. So he goes, gives up the kingdom, goes straight and sits down in meditation, and he meditates for 300 years. Sincerely, in absolute tapasya, and as he meditates, after 300 years, Lord Brahma arrives and says, okay sir, you have meditated for 300 years. We are very proud of your sincerity and your single-pointed focus. What would you like? So Kaushika says, I want a cow just like that. And Brahma is like, sorry, this universe has only one wishful cow. It's already given. I cannot give you that wish. Ask something else. So he says, I want a stick that will make me powerful so I can give Vasishta one knock on his head and I can take the cow. So Tatastu, Brahma says, gives him one stick that is supposed to have all the powers of the world. Now this Kaushika takes the stick, marches his way down to Vasishta's kingdom and tries to use the stick, throws the stick at Vasishta to hurt him. Vasishta sees Kaushika, sees his angry face, understands everything that's going on and doesn't move a muscle because he knows purity doesn't really need that much defense. So he sits quietly, the sticks come hurling at him and he just places one hand. The stick gets absorbed into Vasishta's hand and Vishwamitra is angry. Nandini is standing, stick that he got after 300 years is also gone. Huffs puffs makes his way back up the mountain. Next 300 years sat in meditation. And again Brahma arrives and says, oh, you're back here. 300 years later, what's happening? So So he says, I want another wish. Sari, what is the wish that you would like? I want to become a great rishi like Vasishta. Whatever happens, I should be able to have more powers than him. He says, power is not something that you can calculate like marks. It depends on the state of your mind. He said, whatever tapasya Vasishta has done and has that ability, I want now. Brahma says, Tatastu friend, you have it, please go. So Kaushika makes his way back down to the ashrama. He sees Nandini, he sees Vasishta, and he uses his magical powers to make this big ball that is going to destroy the entire ashrama, including that cow, because they're the root cause of all his problems. He's going to hurl it at both of them, and Vasishta is sitting there smiling, undisturbed. This Kaushika throws this ball of lightning, and all Vasishta does is open his hands. The ball gets absorbed into his heart and nothing happens to him or the cow. Now Kaushika is even more angry. Another 300 years wasted, so he marches back up the mountain, and this time he calls Brahma. 300 years, total 900 years Sir has sat in meditation and tapasya and shakti. And as this Brahma comes back, he says, oh, we're back here again. What would you like this time? He says, this time I have to destroy Vasishta. So he says, okay, I will give you more superior powers than Vasishta. Very good. Vishwamitra makes his way back down into Vasishta's ashram. This time Vasishta looks at him and says, before he can even start throwing things and hurling things, he says, 900 years you wasted over a cow, over me. Is this really what you want life to be? And in that instant, Kaushika wakes up. He realizes he's been holding on to something so silly that even the good things he did came destroying, came crashing to the floor. He wakes up, he apologizes, he cries, he says sorry to Vasishta, sorry to Nandini, and he goes back to sit in quiet meditation, this time just 1 year. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all three arrive. Because when you sit with purity in your mind, you don't need to do much. The entire universe will arrive at your feet. So they all arrive. And he said, we are so pleased. And he says, but I've spent only 1 year. He says, we are very pleased with your dedication. So they ask, what would you want? And he says, nothing. Give me purity in my heart. Give me clarity in my mind. And they say, Tatastu. And then he is named from Kaushika to Vishwamitra, friend of the entire world. Because his heart is now open, he holds no animosity, and his mind is clear. 2 poses we practice. Vasishtasana. How do we practice Vasishtasana? Vasishtasana is done as side plank. Palm is down, take your legs to the back of the mat, and hand is up. Simple posture, Vasishtasana. But Vishwamitrasana is 5 times harder. How does Vishwamitrasana work? We'll do the simple variation. You bring one leg in front, you set your hands inside, and you open the legs out. This is Vishwamitrasana. The ideal version is done with your legs all the way to the back. Poses are really hard, right? Vasishta easy, doable hard. Vishwamitra 5 times harder. And what the story teaches us is, when you hold on to things in your life, no, good or bad, it will become 5 times harder like Vishwamitra. If you remain calm and steady like Vasishta, life becomes easy. So poses definitely get you to be strong, but they must teach us to be mentally clear as well. If we stay stuck to a certain perspective, point of view, a certain relationship, a certain identity even we hold, life will become very challenging like our dear Vishwamitra. Or you can be steady, stable like a Vasishta. So as you practice these poses, may they be reminders of more than just strengthening your arms or stretching your legs. May they be reminders to find clarity in mind and to find purity in your heart. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.